Here's another endgame composition, white to move, and he's up a pawn, but that pawn is pinned. Now, before we solve it for white, let's flip it over and solve for black. We control here and here, leaving these. Connecting the dots, the first move is queen h1 check, forcing the king to g8. Now we have no way to connect the dots. We simply need to close the gap. We're going to play queen d5, forcing the king to h8, because if the king comes to f8, it's an immediate checkmate with queen f7. Now with queen on d5, we have the same setup as before, but we have a much more accessible check to give, queen h5, forcing the king back to g8, and now check. And had he come back to h8, then queen g7 is mate. In this example, queen f7 checkmate. Oh yeah. Now let's go back to the puzzle. Look at the royal squares. Those are controlled. These are all safe. And we can take control of all of these with queen f4, forcing the king either to e6 or e7. And our move is the same regardless of which square his king moves to. We're going to decoy the king to f7 because then we can underpromote with a fork and win his queen and go on to win the game with our knight. Now he's coming down here. Well, this is going to be one of those tricky checkmates with a knight. The problem is if you play knight c6, king d4, knight a6, king c3, king g6, king b2, and then you say, okay, I'll defend with knight b4, his king comes right back to c3, hitting your knight, and that's a draw. So this is one of those ones where you need to use your king to shoulder his king in front of his own pawn, and then bring in your knight for the checkmate. So let's follow his king down the board. And that's all it made us do. Let's play it out against the bot. So right, we just need to get our knight here. If he had pushed, then checkmate. Instead, he played king a2. We bring our knight to d3, forcing the king back to a1. He's in zugzwang. And now knight c1 prevents king a2 and forces pawn a2. And this is checkmate. Oh yeah, classic.